Hey guys, Lord Naren White here, the Holy Ghost, the one true God, back with you with the next video in my series reading Oliver Twist by Charles Dickens. Without further ado, returning to Oliver Twist as read by Lord Naren White. Nancy, dear, croaked the Jew in his usual voice. Did you mind me, dear? Don't worry me now, Fagin, replied the girl, raising her hand languidly. If Bill has not done it this time, he will another. He has done many a good job for you, and will do many more when he can. And when he can, he won't. So no more about that. Regarding this boy, my dear, said the Jew, rubbing the palms of his hands nervously together, the boy must take his chance with the rest. The boy must take his chance with the rest, interrupted Nancy, hastily. And I say again, I hope he is... And I say again, I hope he is dead, and out of harm's way. And out of yours, that is. If Bill comes to no harm, and if Toby got clear off. Bill's pretty sure to be safe, for Bill's worth two of Toby at any time. And about what I was saying, my dear, observed the Jew, keeping his glistening eye steadily upon her. You must say it all over again, if it's anything you want me to do, rejoined Nancy. And if it is, you had better wait till tomorrow. You put me up for a minute, but now I'm stupid again. Fagin put several other questions, all with the same drift of ascertaining whether the girl had profited by his unguarded hints. But she answered them so readily, and was withal so utterly unmoved by his searching looks, that his original impression of her being more than a trifle in liquor was confirmed. Nancy, indeed, was not exempt from a failing, which was very common among the Jew's female pupils, and in which, in their tenderer years, they were rather encouraged than checked. Her disordered appearance and a wholesale perfume of Geneva, which pervaded the apartment, afforded strong confirmatory evidence of the justice of the Jew's supposition, and when, after indulging in the temporary display of violence above described, she subsided, first into dullness, and afterwards into a compound of feelings, under the influence of which she had shed tears one minute, and in the next gave utterance to various exclamations of "Never say die!" and divers calculations as to what might be the amount of the odds, so long as a lady or gentleman was happy. Mr. Fagin, who had had considerable experience of such matters in his time, saw with great satisfaction that she was very far gone indeed. Having eased his mind by this discovery, and having accomplished his twofold object of imparting to the girl what he had that night heard, and of ascertaining, with his own eyes, that Sikes had not returned, Mr. Fagin again turned his face homeward, leaving his young friend asleep with her head upon the table. It was within an hour of midnight, the weather being dark and piercing cold. He had no great temptation to loiter. The sharp wind that scoured through the streets seemed to have cleared them of passengers, as of dust and mud, for few people were abroad, and they were to all appearance hastening fast home. It blew from the right quarter for the Jew, however, and straight before it he went, trembling and shivering, as every fresh gust drove him rudely on his way. He had reached the corner of his own dark street, and was already fumbling in his pocket for the door key, when a dark figure emerged from a projecting entrance, which lay in deep shadow, and, crossing the road, glided up to him unperceived. "Fagin!" whispered a voice close to his ear. "Ah," said the Jew, turning quickly around. "Is that—" "Yes," interrupted the stranger. "I've been lingering here these 2 hours. Where the devil have you been?" "On your business, my dear," replied the Jew, glancing uneasily at his companion, and slackening his pace as he spoke. "On your business all night? "Oh, of course," said the stranger, with a sneer. "Well, and what's come of it?" "Nothing good," said the Jew. "Nothing bad, I hope," said the stranger, stopping short, and turning a startled look on his companion. The Jew shook his head and was about to reply, and the stranger, interrupting him, motioned to the house, before which they had by this time arrived, remarking that he had better say what he had got to say, under cover, for his blood was chilled with standing about so long, and the wind blew through him. Fagin looked as if he could have willingly excused himself from taking home a visitor at that unseasonable hour, and indeed muttered something about having no fire, but his companion repeated his request in a peremptory manner. He unlocked the door, requesting him to close it softly while he got a light. "It's as dark as the grave," said the man, groping forward a few steps. "Make haste!" "Shut the door," whispered Fagin from the end of the passage. As he spoke, it closed with a loud noise. "That wasn't my doing," said the other man, feeling his way. "The wind blew it too, or it shut of its own accord. One or the other. Look sharp with the light, or I shall knock my brains out against something in this confounded hole." Fagin stealthily descended the kitchen stairs. After a short absence he returned with a lighted candle, and the intelligence that Toby Crackit was asleep in the back room below, and that the boys were in front one. Beckoning the man to follow him, he led the way upstairs. "We can say the few words we've got to say in here, my dear," said the Jew, throwing open the door on the first floor. "And as there are holes in the shutters, and we never show lights to our neighbors, they'll set the candle on the stairs. There." With those words, the Jew, stopping down, placed the candle on an upper flight of stairs, exactly opposite to the room door. This done, he had led the way into the apartment, which was destitute of all movables save a broken armchair and an old couch or sofa without covering, which stood behind the door. Upon this piece of furniture the stranger sat himself with the air of a weary man, and the Jew, drawing up the armchair opposite, they sat face to face. It was not quite dark. The door was partially open, and the candle outside threw a feeble reflection on the opposite wall. They conversed for some time in whispers, though nothing of the conversation was distinguishable beyond a few disjointed words here and there. A listener might easily have perceived that Fagin appeared to be defending himself against some remarks of the stranger, and that the latter was in a state of considerable irritation. They might have been talking thus for a quarter of an hour or more, when Monks, by which name the Jew had designated the strange man several times in the course of their colloquy, said, raising his voice a little, "I tell you again, it was badly planned. Why not have kept him here among the rest, and made a sneaking, snivelling pickpocket of him at once?" "Only hear him!" exclaimed the Jew, shrugging his shoulders. "Why, do you mean to say you couldn't have done it if you had chosen?" demanded Monks sternly. "Haven't you done it with other boys scores of times? If you had had patience for a 12-month, at most, couldn't you have got him convicted and sent safely out of the kingdom, perhaps for life?" "Whose turn would that have served, my dear?" inquired the Jew humbly. "Mine," replied Monks. "But not mine," said the Jew submissively. "He might have become of use to me. When there are two parties to a bargain, it is only reasonable that the interests of both should be consulted. Is it, my good friend?" "What then?" demanded Monks. "I saw it was not easy to train him to the business," replied the Jew. "He was not like other boys in the same circumstances." "Curse him, no," muttered the man, "or he would have been a thief long ago." And we'll go ahead and stop there for this week. As usual, I want to say thank you for watching, and I hope you enjoyed. Please like, comment, and subscribe, as it greatly helps the channel. Light be with you all. Take care, and thanks again.